Hudson Place. So we all know that Hudson Place has no MRT nearby. There's not much amenities, but the pricing should be around the 2.5k PSF range. So the real question today, right? If I can buy something older but closer to MRT and cheaper, why would I enter Hudson Place?
I think this is one of the big concerns. It's like now in this area, right, there is an older project, but it's nearer to MRT. I mean, some project, there are even newer project that's coming to TOP soon that is already cheaper. Why should I pay more while I don't enjoy the MRT?
Yeah, because MRT is a big factor for a lot of buyers.
So this is something that we want to touch on today. So before we start, a bit of disclaimer. Everything we share is based on our own opinion and our own research. If you want to buy yourself, please do your own research. If not, do drop out a message. We're happy to share with you more in depth. So you might be hearing with a lot of agents will tell you, if there's no MRT, right, you can take the shuttle bus because there's a free shuttle bus service for the first 1 year. So based on these things, I want to ask because I got clients that stay in riverfront residences, right? They say the shuttle bus service actually sometimes either nobody take or is it quite packed So it's not a really comfortable experience also.
Shuttle bus is, of course, to some is convenient because you can just sit the bus straight and go to MRT. But the only thing about shuttle bus is that there's timing. It's like, there's a schedule. It's not like you want straight away have. So you got to plan the timing, all these things.
Especially peak period. Peak period, then
after work, all this,
if there's overload, then you must wait for the next bus, right? Then these are some frustration that will be happen on the shuttle bus service. Or sometimes they will fix it with more frequency in a way.
Yeah.
But ask you Dylan, very honest. You want to stay beside MRT or you want to take a shuttle bus from a MRT to get home?
Of course, straight to MRT. If I can skip the bus, MRT straight away go home will be the best.
That's why. So today the question is not about whether to buy Hudson or not. It's more about today, should we being far from MRT, right? Will this attribute affects my rental for my future tenant, or also affect whether without this MRT, right, will my price appreciation become lesser than the surrounding?
Yeah, because this should be the number one concern of Hudson Place.
Correct.
Because it's far from MRT. That one is a fact. Everyone knows. So today we will go through whether being far from MRT, is it something we can still look at, or what will it affect?
So before we start, we want to compare in terms of some areas like what are we going to use as compare, because further the real concern further from MRT but price higher. Correct. Should I buy or not?
Yeah, so where is Hudson Place? It's around here. This is the Media Circle, Mediapolis area.
I think you will zoom in.
Sorry, I'm zoom in. Yeah, okay. It's around here. Okay, so you see nearby, you see the whole area. There's no MRT. Okay, the nearest one is most probably One North is the nearest.
Yeah.
But it's quite a distance.
Can walk, no? But I won't walk.
Yeah, walk is can, but it's not very near. Okay, of course, and then there's another Cambridge.
This one, not I say. Got people tell me can walk, but I won't walk.
Yeah. Then other than that, of course, there's Commonwealth, and then there's the Queenstown. So you see all this MRT is all very so-called good MRT, but it's not near.
So you're middle of it, but not near.
You're middle of everything, but you're not near.
Yeah. So we want to compare, for example, what's the nearest. So today we use One North Residences as an example because they are also near the MRT. They are actually having a 20 years gap because when Hudson TOP at the 2029, right, these two will be 20 years gap. So we'll use an example. We take one example that what happens if having a 20 years gap, does it actually affects my price and my rental?
Yeah.
So we take these two examples. Today we're going to use Tanglin Regency and Principal Garden. So you can see from the map, right, Tanglin Regency is walkable to Red Hill MRT. Whereas Principal Garden will be a little far.
Yeah, I think it's a bit hard to walk.
So how does it affect both of the performance?
So the key thing why we chose these two projects also is because the Tanglin Regency, right, is older but nearer MRT. Principal Garden is newer but further from MRT.
But why we choose these two? Because when we compare side by side, right, they are almost 20 years gap, just like the One North Residences and Hudson Place.
So we want to compare apple to apple.
So let's look at the rental, right, now. For Principal Garden, right, and Tanglin Regency, now they are actually one near MRT, one not so near MRT. Actually, Principal Garden performs better in terms of average.
Correct. This is based on the last 6 months transaction. Okay, so the last 6 months transaction, we see 6 months. So very recent one. The gap for average, because we do average, is $750 difference.
For a 2-bedroom.
For a 2-bedroom, but Principal Garden is much further. from the MRT, but command a higher average rental.
Then this seems like today.
So today just buy new.
No lah, just we can see that actually being near MRT, right, got these perks. But sometimes people will still choose something newer. And I mean, in terms of the
age,
facade, the age, all these things, people will prefer better facilities. More updated, more modern. Because sometimes when you go for a newer development, you can see, the pool is more grand,
nicer,
the facility is nicer, more well maintained, not so old. All these will actually make people pay more. So, but let's bring back to the day that that Principal Garden launched. We see what is the price difference. Because now it's like one north
Same situation as the Bloomsbury.
and Hudson 20 years. So 20 years apart, right? You can see at the time when the average at 2015 when they launched, right? They actually have a 20% gap. So Tanglin Regency was cheaper and Principal Garden was more expensive by 20%. So fast forward, what happened to their growth, right? Is Tanglin Regency still grow. It grows about 55%, not too bad lah. But what actually what actually surprised us is Principal Garden grow much more than Tanglin Regency. But not just that, is people willing to pay more because the entry was much more than Tanglin Regency.
Yeah.
So today again factor in we see sometimes it's not about really the near MRT. It's more about how well designed is the development or these things, so that people will actually want to pay more.
Yeah, because we of course all these transactions we take the period is about close to 11 years period. 11 years period, of course, eventually the Tanglin Regency also did a very 55% growth is considered quite good for older resale. Yeah, but of course the newer ones still have a bigger growth. So sometimes newer condos can still outperform even though it's not so near MRT compared to the older one that is near MRT.
So in the end, what are people actually look at? They also got concerned about the age of the condo because in the end you buy too old, right? Because the people will always have this concern of the lease decay.
Correct.
Then like that, if I buy something old, what if later my price drop? All these things. Also these are concerns, but we cannot guarantee price will drop. Because resale, right, is always about market situation. Market fundamental. If the market do well, then everything will skyrocket.
But
market,
correct. But I can say that lease is still something that a lot of buyers look at. This is something we cannot just ignore it. Just near MRT, don't care. Confirm can make money.
Because I meet one client just last week. They still ask me this question, Matthew, should I buy freehold or leasehold? Because this question come up is always about the lease. Now, if people don't worry about lease, right, why would they talk about freehold and leasehold? So this is something that you need to consider the fact.
We need to understand how does this lease thing, right, how do we look at it to ensure that we can buy something that is, if you're looking at more investment, right, we must look at that.
So just a summary, right? That's why we say, right, people will still look at location, but the next thing they will look at the property age. Something too old might not be exciting
Correct. So I mean, location definitely is still number one. I don't say that we don't. The MRT people all still want. There will be higher demand for sure. So this is still number one. But we cannot forget about this one. We cannot ignore this one because these two things the buyers will still look at. So this is what we're trying to say if, of course, the location good, property new, then the only thing is the price will be higher this is the standard triangle.
So the price will higher, right? We must understand whether people will pay or not. If your price is too high, then people will not be able to accept. That's why we always, when we talk about analysis, right, with our client, we always must know that who will buy from us next time.
Correct.
Like for example, the last video of the Nara, right, we actually shared that were the people able to buy when they sell or upgrade?
The buyers.
If we cannot find this type of things, right, in that area, a bit scary. It means we are actually don't have a actually exit strategy. No, because let's just say today you stay Tampines, right? We must look at the area. You cannot say you cannot use somewhere like Tampines, right? Because the HDB transact very high. Then can buy Tengah. We must find the area there. Whether the people will like to, because people will be so used to the area, they will want to stay there. They want to upgrade over there.
Correct. So most people maybe they are used to Tampines. When they upgrade from the HDB in Tampines, right, where will they go?
So
Tampines I cannot be Tampines suddenly I feel like going to Jurong mah. Same thing, Jurong people, when they upgrade, they also stay in Jurong. So this is something that we must understand also. We cannot just look at in whole general, we must look at the different location.
yeah, because it's very hard for people to relocate a location that they are so used to it lah.
Yeah.
Only the minority can or being forced like me I'm being forced I'm from Clementi West Coast, then I go to Upper Thomson. That one is I no choice.
Actually, especially the central area, the people I realize like those stay Tiong Bahru, Queenstown. Wow, you ask them move out very hard.
Yeah.
Because it's so central for them, so they've been so used to it being central.
This group also got a bit of a struggle when they do upgrading, because the upgrade gap is so high,
Correct.
much higher. Because in the region, the property price also higher.
And then in fact, right, sometimes why the supply there might not be higher, because they realize I cannot move anywhere. I say put what for I sell? What for I sell and go to somewhere further out? They won't. So that's why the supply is lesser, but in the end, of course, cause the price to go higher.
Yeah. So today, where does Hudson actually sit? Is one thing that we need to know that today, is there something that a sweet spot can we look into or not? Not just like, do they just lay out nice, buy or price can or cannot can buy?
Yeah, based on these factors, the not near MRT and the age and all these things that we talk about, right? Is Hudson Place, where does it stand?
Where's the sweet spot?
Where's the sweet spot?
Because all project, right, can we say that there are people who buy into it, right? There are people who make or people who lose money,
Correct.
Yeah, some people make more, some people less. So our job here is to really find, this project, what is the sweet spot? What are something that we consider? Later we share with you more. So another concern will be the Bloomsbury. But of course, they are the same developer. A lot of agents will also tell you, the developer will protect the price, everything. But these are things that we can never confirm.
Yeah.
Because it's still, again, market sentiment when the time they launch. When the time that they set the price, all these things.
Yeah.
We will never know, because maybe there are a chance that if the sales is not good, can some developer drop price? There are example but I'm not going to touch on You can I
This
think
is all guesswork we don't know
So we see situation where developer actually drop prices when the sales is not good, give discount, all these things just to clear stocks.
Yeah.
So where is Bloomsbury, right? Is over here right next, and this is Hudson Place. So one thing that we see, right, actually Bloomsbury, right, everything the 2-bedder or the 3-bedder all sell very well, except for the big ones. Why only the big one cannot sell?
Yeah, okay, because big one usually what type of buyers will buy?
Usually will be the own stay
Yeah, usually own stay right? Because bigger people buy for own stay So own stay people, right, they usually will buy at the tail end or when the project is going to TOP. Why? Because of the difference between an own stay and investor timeline. So own stay, they definitely, firstly, when you want to buy own stay, would you want to rent? But we think you want to straight move in because own stay. You don't talk about like making money, all these things. So definitely own stay will buy when it's close to your
The first thing I will ask, why I need to go and rent?
Yeah, why I do all these things?
Why I need to
money
So I sell.
Yeah.
I need to move to a renter,
Yeah.
which cause a lot of logistic headache.
Yeah.
Then after that, when almost TOP, I need to go through another logistic headache
Correct,
again.
correct.
This is the time. This is a thing that very emotional that people will want to go through. Because if you ask yourself, right, very honestly, the moving house is the most troublesome part.
Correct.
Really troublesome, very tiring one.
So today you want to own stay, you want to buy big, you got the money, you want immediate, then you have to wait for TOP if you want the most new one.
That's why even the HDB upgrading or moving of house, right, that we also always time the timeline. People want to move in seamlessly. People don't want to, either I sell my house, then I go and rent just to go and, usually won't want to fall to that stage.
Correct. So this is the difference between own stay investor. But why 4-bedder are still in the market for Blooms? Because they will probably wait to nearer TOP, then they will clear. Okay. So of course we have seen this many times happens right? If you take these two projects, for example, Tembusu Grand and Grand Diamond, if you look at the transaction, that is the latest one because it's also going to close to TOP area. Okay, you see mostly transacted is the 5-bedder.
So you see, you zoom in, right? It's all mostly 5-bedders.
The 5-bedders all around this period.
Then for the Grand Diamond also same thing.
Yeah, you see 4, 5-bedder, you see all is the 4-bedder. Yeah, so always 4 and 5-bedder will move at the tail end of the
because own
project
stay don't see the benefit of renting. They rather stay put and wait until TOP, then they buy.
Correct.
And see what is available at that moment.
Yes.
Because if I go and rent, then the rental very high. to them it doesn't make sense,
Yeah,
right?
it makes sense.
Because
it's a cost lah.
it's a cost logic
Yeah.
and the emotional part of the hassle.
Correct.
People won't do it, one.
Yeah.
But today for investor, very different.
So on state investor, of course now today by investor, we just have to look at one thing lah, okay? Firstly is launch, and then of course TOP. Okay, investor will be very sensitive to this one. Why? Because when you buy at launch, for example, you investor, you buy at launch, there's something called the progressive payment lah. Okay. Sorry, my handwriting cannot. Okay. Yeah, progressive payment which means at the start when you buy the launch day, can I say you're only paying maybe not so high installment. So it will slowly increase until close to TOP . So as an investor, this one will help you a lot in terms of your installment, in terms of your cash flow. You don't have to every month pay such a high installment.
And also, it's like,
Yes, lesser interest.
if their time frame of mind is they want to take advantage of they buying at the good entry, phase one, they want to exit here, right? Usually investor will buy here.
Correct.
Because when you buy at TOP, right, or even nearer to TOP, right, we are subjected to something called seller's stamp duty, which is now 4 years. Here can help you burn a bit of the seller's stamp duty and you are enjoying a lesser interest because of progressive payment.
Yes.
But if today you buy almost something very near TOP and it just say 1 year before TOP, then after that, right, he need to hold 3 years. So these 3 years, what? If he can either stay inside or rent out. I need to tell you something. Usually the big units, right? The rental yield very jialat. It's not for rental one.
Yeah.
It's not so how to say attractive in terms of rental yield. So in terms of investment logic, then a bit down already. That's why all the investor will buy 2-bed, 3-bed.
Yes.
Compact, because that's the lower quantum but higher rental, so the yield will go higher.
Correct.
Then if touch wood, there is a vacancy of 2 to 3 months, the installment burn is very high.
Because 4-bedder quantum in general is higher, so your installment also higher. Imagine 3 months or 6 months you are vacant, you are paying this full installment for these 3 months and no one pay for you. You are tanking this cost lah. So this is the number one concern for investors. They don't want to go through this what we call bleeding.
Yeah.
They'll be bleeding.
They are bleeding already.
Yeah, they are bleeding because they no choice and they cannot sell because of seller's stamp duty. So most people will go to buy at launch. But of course, launch got a cons also. I'm not saying launch is everything is perfect because why? You need to rent lah. If let's say you don't have a place to stay, you need to rent while waiting for it to build. Yeah, example, if you don't have a place to stay lah. Yeah, but for own stay, of course, once TOP they can come in and move in already lor. But they won't get to enjoy what we call the progressive payment because they buy nearer to TOP. Can I say mostly the end stage already?
It's a trade-off lah.
It's a trade-off. Yeah, and then also usually nearer to TOP, the price is of course not as attractive as the launch day lah. Usually that's how it works. So that's why for investor and own stay, I will say own stay will buy nearer to TOP. Investor will try to buy as near to launch.
Correct. So today, Hudson and Bloomsbury, right? Just because they are side by side, which one suit you better? So let's just give you an example. If today Hudson, Bloomsbury is not Hudson. Bloomsbury is 50k cheaper, right?
Yeah.
If you are own stay, right, then go Bloomsbury because you buy for own stay, then you can enjoy the 50k cheaper.
Yeah.
But if you as an investor, you can't buy Bloomsbury.
Yeah.
You must buy Hudson because you can leverage on the longer timeline. Take advantage because their TOP is later. You can help you take away some of the seller stamp duty timeline. Because once when you TOP, right, sometimes or after 1 year after TOP, right, you can actually exit time your exit better and you can enjoy the progressive payment.
Yeah.
Because if you buy rent something that is going to TOP earlier than you, right, if you need to rent longer, then if any point of time is vacant, right, you start to bleed already. So even the discount maybe 50,000, let's say 4-bedroom give a 50,000 discount. You like what Dylan said, 3 to 6 months, right? Then the 50k no more already.
Yeah, because this kind of vacancy is, I mean, we cannot predict one. We cannot say like, only thing, yes, the only way maybe to avoid this is you rent very cheap. But would you want to? Because then it defeats the whole purpose.
Because every landlord want to rent at the best rate, right?
You don't want to go way below market. Then you got to lock in yourself 1-2 years at a very low rental, which is something that is not attractive. That's why the rental yield is not so ideal for the bigger units.
So another thing that the agents will tell you, right? Recently, 听见 did a very high land cost at Dover. It's in the area also lah. Which of course is near MRT all this. It pay about 1,500 lah. So when you buy Hudson, right, you're entering cheaper because Hudson land cost is cheaper. Means today you enter this price, right, the Dover's gonna sell higher. Meaning next time, you got a buffer to sell.
You got protection.
You understand from our land cost video lah. But one thing very you have to take note, right? We want to bring this out because although they give you some protection, some buffer, but does higher land cost equate to higher future price? This one you have to be very careful. Why? Because now everyone will tell you, hey, 15656 at this area already. Because the Queenstown note next time they're going to sell 3,000. Today you buy at Hudson at 2,500, example. Next time can you sell at 3,000? Then they will sell higher. Is this a opportunity? You might hear this thing lah.
Yeah.
But one thing I need to tell you that this thing you have to be very careful.
Yeah, correct. Because you see, let's say this one 1,500. Let's say Hudson Place land cost about 1,000 example. There's a difference of 500. Very simple logic, they will say, so there's a $500 difference. So the Dover will be selling 500 PSF more than Hudson based on the land cost. But is it so simple as like that? It may happen, but it's not 100%.
Yeah, because we see, you must also learn about the area. Is it the supply and the demand, correct or not? So we take one thing, we show you this example is the land cost for these two development. One is Affinity at Serangoon, one is at Jadescape lah. So Affinity, the land cost is higher, okay? Jadescape is lower but what happened when they launch? You can see the launch for Affinity is actually lower but the Jadescape one is higher. Actually, what do you know why? One thing is the demand. This is the demand, this is the supply. So during this Affinity launch, you know that area got how many new launch or not? Riverfront. I mean, Riverfront will usually be there because then there is a garden residences. Then there's Florence. So as a developer, you also have to think all these things. The future supply is quite a lot. So I need to sell. That's where I need to give a good price to attract the people. Here, Bishan don't have anything. The first one after how many years they so what happened is there is lack of supply, then demand. Then as a developer, I'm the only one. I need to sell high lor. So these are things that you also need to know. Not just so simple I buy lower the land cost and
because doesn't mean developer buy cheap, they sell you cheap.
Yes.
It doesn't mean they buy expensive, they will sell you expensive.
Correct.
So it really depends.
So you need to know. So what we want to share is actually if understanding land cost will give you protection, will future proof yourself. But you also need to know deeper in a way that it is not certain one. You must still have a lot of underlying as research factors like how's the supply in the area, what's your competition in the area.
Correct.
Because very good example, Vela Bay, 1,388 per square foot. Because we have been saying about this thing. So we also average about 3,000 right at that point. But what's the starting from now? About 2,726 26 XX to 27 So why suddenly the dog actually can sell 2,829? Why he wants to sell at 2,627? Is to attract other buyers to come and to view the place and maybe put a check to book
Correct.
To buy They need to clear some stock first then before they start to increase Eventually as they sell, the average will go up Or maybe if the launch, the check is so oversubscribed and the sales is very good, they might increase price along the way during the launch.
Yes.
It's like what we say the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 can happen in one day in certain project because it's too hot. These are things. So for the Dover side, can the developer also start with 2,600, 2,700 just to attract people from the Hudson?
Today because now the Dover and it's also 新建, then the Hudson also 新建 So now that's why got a bit of dilemma. Imagine the Dover is another developer.
Correct.
And they want to catch buyers from the Hudson. Can they just start at 2,600? And people looking at Hudson, maybe they hold back. Let me go and see the Dover first. Capture the buyers to go and see that one starting at 2,600. But of course, not saying that everything will be 2,600. There will be a higher price and units
in terms of
price
facing,
higher, all these things.
So this is why we want to emphasize that just understanding land price is one thing, but you still need to do some research. But of course, if you don't know more in depth, you can always feel free to message us. We can go more in depth. So when it comes to buying the important part is now I think we very focus on the unique selling point. Because every project, right? Once again I say, not everyone buy the same project doesn't mean all make money, Some may make less, some may make more, all these things. So we want to always go in terms of investment centric. We want to find the sweet spot. So we find the USP. Then after that, we understand the developer strategy. Then from there, we buy something in between.
Yeah. We don't pay too high.
We don't pay so much premium. If you want to pay the premium, usually you buy for own stay one.
Correct.
You don't care one. We pay more. So where is the sweet spot in Hudson? So now we use One North Eden as an example. This one is the newer one that TOP lah. So during launch day, you can see they are per square foot, right? For the big unit is about 1,008 to 1,007. That's the launch. Then but the 2 bed, for small bed, right? 1 bedroom, right? 2 bed, right?
1 to 2
it's about 2,1. So actually there's a very big gap. So usually last time, right? The small one, the PSF higher.
Yeah.
The big one, PSF smaller.
Yes.
But eventually when you go for TOP, right? All these resale subshoe, right? The big one also went up. But also we can see the small one also went up. So definitely at this area, the small one got demand.
Yeah.
So basically, because all these people who buy, all got increased price. All make some money whether high or low. But
the PSF still higher
they managed to go higher than their 1 bedroom.
Yeah.
Means people are willing to pay here.
Correct.
For a higher PSF. So for Bloomsbury, what are the things that we see? Because now it's the same developer,
Yeah.
So we want to understand, will they apply the same strategy for the Hudson?
Yes.
If there is, how can we take advantage?
Correct. So if we look at Blooms, of course, if we look at the 2-bedder, which is a smaller units, right? Okay, the PSF is about, let's say we look at the lowest PSF, okay, we stop at lowest, 2, 3, right? We notice a lot of the lower PSF is a 2-bedder.
Yeah.
2 and 3. We never see any 4-bedder, 6-bedder, or that. We never see here. Right? So mostly the 2-bedder, can I say that there is the lower range. Okay, but if we were to look at the 4-bedder and we sort by the highest, we do see some 4-bedders already going at 2.7, 2.7, 2.6, close to 2.7. So the 4-bedder, you can see developer did load into certain units. Yeah, but of course you'll say, also got 2-bedder 2-bedder also 2.7 correct. But of course if you look at all these 2-bedder, I would say mostly the higher floor Yeah, so I'm not saying that the 2-bedder all is cheap, but can I say that the developer did load on the 4-bedder for Blooms? Yeah. So if they were to use the same strategy, right, on the Hudson, then we have to really look at the sweet spot, which is the smaller units really.
So today, if the developer, right, really look on the big unit, like what Dylan has say, right, then straight away Hudson will just buy 2 and 3-bedder already. Buy at and
that will be the sweet spot
Be very sensitive to the quantum. Don't go too high already.
Correct.
Buy the cheapest per square foot. From there, because investment there the USP is high rentability.
Yeah.
I forget to mention. The USP there is high rentability and high rental yield. So the rental there is very high. That's why people are still paying the 1-bedder or is it at a higher per square foot for One North Eden.
Correct.
Because the rental yield can accept.
So it's not, sorry, I want to touch back on the USP. So what we mean by USP? USP is a lot of factors. For example, Vela Bay, what's a USP? View. So for this one, the USP will be high rentability. Yeah, so every project got a USP, but it doesn't mean you buy the USP is confirm made. Because you also need to consider what price you buy it. You can get the USP but you pay very expensive. Then that's also a risk.
For example, now if you buy too high for a 2-bedroom, right? Although there is a high rentability and high rental, right? But your yield will drop because you pay too high on the quantum.
Correct.
So for here, right, we feel will be at the 2-bed, 3-bed, but at a very sweet spot in terms of the low quantum and low PSF.
As low as possible.
Yeah. So we see on that day, right, when the price is launched, right, what is the loading?
Yes. Of course, now we assume they load bigger units. Now that's based
on what we see from the Blooms.
Yeah.
We don't know whether the developer will do the same thing. But the question today is not about whether this project good or bad. Every project got good and bad. So it's about what fits you as a buyer today. Today, what is your intention? Because some of my customer, right, they will tell me my intention is just to move to a bigger house. Then from there, I cannot rent because of my bigger family thing. Should I go for a resale or should I go and rent? These are things that everyone's situation is different.
Got-
Also, earning income also different.
Yeah.
If your income is 10K, I ask you go and rent, then the rental is about 6,000, example. You left 4,000, then you got 4 kids.
Yeah.
You won't do it.
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make
Yeah.
sense.
Doesn't make sense.
So how, it's not one size fits all, because a lot of people tell you new launch make money, new launch is the best.
Yeah.
But if you cannot, means you cannot lah. You know, it cannot force in a way that new launch is the best, because it's the best for you, doesn't mean it's the best for me mah.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, you must really think whether you are looking more towards own stay or more towards investment.
Yeah. The main thing for us is, at your situation, right, what is the options that are available? Then after that, we go through that options. We see which one suits you better.
Yes.
Because in the end of the day, you still have to, you are the one who go through it.
Yeah.
We cannot let you be the one that's suffering right now.
Yeah.
Because in the end of the day, I feel we are also a bit of, we have to because you will take our advice, man.
Yeah.
So
we cannot anyhow give advice.
correct.
Of course, we cannot just keep telling you, hey, new is the best, new is the best, new is the best. But it might not fit what your situation. Yeah, and we cannot just ignore the rental part and all these things. Say, just go and rent lah. You know, we're not that kind lah. So at the end of the day, really depends. But if you're looking at investment, then you must really understand the whole area. What we mentioned lah, you must really understand the USP. What do you call that? The developer pricing strategy, where they load. All these things will be very important, especially if you are an investor.
because actually resale is also can be worked
That's
out in a
another
way.
strategy
Also in terms of that's how we can actually put some investment element in it. It's just that resale is harder.
Yeah.
Because there's element that at the project that you want, right, you might not be easy to get a good price. It's where you can find resale unit at a discount.
Correct.
There's strategy to go about it. Because if you sometimes my client, we tell the client, I want this one. Then that place only got 2 or 3 units that is available, right?
Yeah.
As a seller, I know I'm the only 3. If you like, you can buy from me. The negotiation part is not going to be easy one.
Yes.
So these are certain things that we also touch on as with our customer. Yeah, I mean, of course, today we have finished our first part of our video. Because the next part we're going to talk about the layout, the perspective, the project detail.
Yes.
But we don't want to make the video so long, so we cut into 2 parts.
Yeah.
So if you have any question, feel free to drop us a text. We will happy to share with you more. And once again, I'm Matthew.
I'm Dylan. We'll see you soon.